Hi, thank you for joining me today for day 29 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. Today's sketch you'll see in the top right hand corner there is by Jessica Fenn Hill, and it's a fairly basic one with 2 photos, some strips behind and some embellishing. So for the strips behind I've decided to use some acrylic paints, so I'm just mixing a cerulean blue with some white. Because the photos that I've got that you will have seen at the beginning there are of the kids on a trampoline in our back garden when they were about 2. So I just wanted to match the blues to the blue on the trampoline. So first of all, doing the large strip and dry brushing this on so that you get the different colours in it. And then I shall mix in some more aquamarine type colour or teal, I don't really know what colour to call that, sage green I suppose, to create a smaller strip at the top. So just coming in with my smaller paintbrush and doing exactly the same, just dry brushing it on there so that you get the white still showing through and the different colours. And then I shall leave that to dry. I'll add some splatters first of all, so just grabbing my number 10 paintbrush and watering that acrylic paint right down, just adding some splatters in that same colour to the top and bottom, just to add a bit of detail and interest, because this layout came together ever so quickly. As I say, it's a fairly basic sketch and I'm letting the photos do the talking. So both my photos are 4x6 photos and I've trimmed them down slightly, just to cut out some of the noise in the background, if you like. So here I'm just using some scraps of white card to mat them down and trimming off the excess. This is card that I use when I'm cutting things with my silhouette, and I just keep any usable pieces to one side. As I've said before, I'm very frugal. I don't like to waste anything, so I'll reuse where I can. I'm just trimming this one off now. And you can see that one on the left hand side is slightly smaller than the one on the right. So I've actually mirrored this sketch because I felt that the photos look better on the right hand side rather than the left. But I'm still keeping them staggered like they are in Jessica's sketch there. So this is a scrap of paper from Print Shop, Vicki Boutin's Print Shop, and I thought that this blue matched really nicely with the colours of the trampoline. I do love tone-on-tone papers at the moment. I've found I'm using them more and more. So just trying to work out exactly what I want to do with this. I was thinking about using it as a mat, but it wasn't quite big enough. And then I thought, right, I'm going to do scallops. They're definitely my go-to, a scallop border at the moment, a nice large scallop border. So using my pot that I always use, but you could use anything like a 2p piece or a larger coin would work really nicely. Anything that you've got hanging around, the lid off, I don't know, toothpaste. So just drawn the circles on and now trimming around that. And you may have noticed when I turned the paper over, I saw that other piece of blue, which I will also use to border punch and add below this scallop border. So just using my cutter bee scissors to cut round. I find these by far the easiest to use when I'm hand cutting anything. And then my big scissors for cutting photo mats and stuff. So there you go, that creates a lovely border underneath those photos. And here's that other blue piece that I was talking about. So I've just grabbed one of my EK Success border punches. This is a tiny scallop with a dot in the middle. And just punching out the border, and then I'll trim that down and I'll pop it underneath that scalloped border that I've created there. So grabbing my big scissors just to trim that down, and then that sits nicely under there. So now's the time to glue these photos down, just using my wet PVA glue. And that small one fits really neatly across those 2 strips, the painted strips that I've got in the background, and then the bigger one on top. And there are actually 4 kids in that trampoline, if you can believe it. My 2 and then my 2 nephews. They were having an absolute whale of a time. They really enjoyed it. James had obviously had enough and was trying to get out. So just sticking those 2 strips down and then curling up the edges ever so slightly just to create some texture on that layout. And now coming in with my Florence alphabets from Bella Boulevard in navy. to create the title, and the title is going to be Fun on the Jumper Pleen. We always laughed because Amelia for years and years called it a jumper pleen, so I really wanted to get that down to record that memory. So I've now grabbed my black Julie Bean Soup alphabets just to create the top part of the title, Fun on the, and then jumper pleen in those navy blue ones. Now this is a chipboard star from the Vicki Boutin print shop collection, and I'm just looking for a few bits to embellish the page, not too much. And I like this piece that says details. In fact, I do cover it up, but it's nice as a landing piece, if you like, something that I'm going to embellish. So just having a look through to see what else there is there, and now coming into the ephemera. And this was the edge of a washi tape sticker that I'd used on a previous layout, which I trimmed off the bit that was going underneath the photo to save. So I'm just adding that as something extra to the left-hand side of the photo here. And then I see this bird, and that's the thing that I'm going to use to put on top of that tab there. So while I'm doing that, please don't forget to check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in. There's a link to my shop and my Etsy shop if you're interested in any of the products we sell at Hey Little Magpie, and the playlist for, as I say, for everybody joining in. I'll also add the details for Jessica, who created the sketch as well, so that you can see what she's done. So this piece is a cut apart from one of the, I think it was from the 6x8 paper pad that I'm just using so that I can add my journaling there. And that's pretty much the page done. I'm just changing the E to an I. I decided that jumper pleen should probably be spelt the same way as trampoline, so I decided that an I would work better there. And then I wanted to add a few more black accents around the page because there's quite a lot of black on the photos, and I've used those black chipboard pieces from print shop. I just wanted to bring a little bit more black in. So first of all, just finishing off my journaling and adding the date, which was May 2009. And then I'm going to come in with my trusty hole reinforcer punch from We Are Memory Keepers and just add a couple of black rings dotted about the page. And then once those are stuck down, I shall come in with my Nuvo crystal drops, which I quite often do, to add some black splatters, and they're nicely controlled splatters rather than coming in with some black acrylic paint. So here's the Nuvo. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like this video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And other than that, I shall see you again tomorrow for day 30. Thanks again. Bye.